Hey guys and gals, hey guys and gals, hello, hello, hello. What is good today? What is good today? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. If it's not Friday, if you're watching this, happy Future Friday. I'll see you in the future. The future. I like doing that. It's fun. It's fun, guys and gals. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for hitting the play button. Let's go. You know I love that. You know I love that, guys, gals. Truly do. You beautiful, intelligent people. I say that because, just being real. The other types, the ones that say, learning, I don't like to learn. Ew, yuck. Just being real, you know they're not hitting the play button. Let's go! But as a matter of fact, you guys and gals have. That's why I say you are beautiful, intelligent people. 120 and higher IQ club. Let's go. I'll get my words out today, maybe. Hopefully. It's a feel-good day. Yes, it is. It is. Yes. It's actually sunny and stuff. Yeah. Let's go. And the temperature's perfect. Trust me. Comfortable temperatures. All right, guys and gals, I want to get right to it. I'm going to quickly thank you, supporters, followers, lurkers and twerkers, and you beautiful sandwich making workers. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love this support. Thank you, guys and gals. Okay. I know. But yeah, you guys are great. Thank you for the support. You guys and gals, keep things going. I'm enjoying doing this and just, talking to myself and such. I'm just kidding. It's okay. If I start chatting, then the whole stream will just start be nothing but chatting and no learning. We got to try to balance it, guys and gals. Okay, a little bit of fun. I like to chat with you a little bit. Have a little bit of fun, and then eventually we're going to get into serious mode. Well, somewhat serious, okay? Still having fun over here. We're learning and growing. Johnny with WhiskeyTango Sharp Coding. I'm here to help you learn C++. It's great to have you. Truly mean that. If you're following this series, I just want to yell, that's great. Like the Frosted Flakes lion? That's what I want to do. Yeah, you guys, you're great. You're great. Apostrophe R-E. You're. Because it's 2 words. Means you are. No, I'm not one of those kind. I'm a math guy. I will correct you on math because I'm trying to help. I love math. I do. Coding as well. If this is your journey to learn C++, you found the right place. Man, you're so great. If you're just dropping by, turn it up. Dawn the one. Bro, stop. Bro. Dawn to the one. Bro, stop. Chill, bro. Bro. Dawn to the one, Fortnite grinder. You're awesome, bro. You're pretty cool. You're a pretty cool guy, I will say. Let's go. You guys. One raid. Yeah, got you up. Bro, shut the front door. I'm trying to keep this kid friendly. You know I want to drop the F-bombs. Bro, you're so awesome. You don't have to do that, man. But you're cool AF for doing that, I'm telling you. Cool AF. How'd the Fortnite grind go? You get dubs? I'm the Call of Duty guy, but I quit that. That Call of Duty, man, it's brutal. Too many cheaters. Hello. Yeah, you are, man. You're cool AF, I'm telling you. Coding, yeah, I know. You guys, it might not be for you guys. That's what I've been doing. I can't. Like, I like zombies. I'll play COD Zombies. I love doing that. But I'm done with Warzone. I'm just done. Done with it. One was rough. Yeah, you know, there's always good games, bad games. Hopefully you got some dubs. I'll be a noob at Fortnite, I'll tell you that much. But I mean, I got the COD skill, but I can't build and stuff on the fly. I'd be a total noob. My kid's awesome at it. I trained him. He's decent. Man, it's great to have your fam drop by, bro. You're pretty awesome for doing that. If you guys want to learn coding, that's kind of what I'm doing over here. If you're interested, you could, I don't know, you could hang out while I kind of just go on and on and on and on and on. It's a bit of a theory day today. Little theory. It might be yawn stuff, you know, yawn. But I don't know. I do this kind of for fun. I like it. I like to build programs. What I want to do is make a program where for Call of Duty, where if a cheater aims on you, you actually negative value, you multiply -1 to their X and Y aiming coordinates, and it makes them aim somewhere else. I want to try to figure out if there's a way to do that. Yeah, you know, I like math and stuff, right? So I couldn't write an essay to save my life. I can spell. I can make grammatically correct sentences, but I could not write an essay to save my life. I am not a writer. I'm more of a technical kind of mind, guys. And I'm a gamer. I am a gamer as well. I could slap zombies solo. No problemo. And Call of Duty, I'm pretty decent as well. But I just can't beat that aim tracking stuff people use. I just can't beat it. I try. Ooh, and CSGO, that does exist. CSGO, where the cheater cannot kill the guy. Yeah. I know. That's the great thing about CSGO. You're right. They do have that. How they did that, man, they're geniuses. I guess I stole the idea a little bit. I seen that too. That's the coolest thing, that, you know? Like, you can't cheat now. You suck. You got no skill. You're trash. Don to the wand, bringing his fam. You guys enjoy his stream today? Was it good? It probably was. I dropped by to say hello and throw some laughs, you know, but of course I had to kind of get my stream ready and such. Or random drop his weapon. Yeah, that's right, music. Yeah, that's funny. That is funny AF. I'm telling you, that is funny. That's the OG troll right there. COD used to be fun. Like, try to shoot and suddenly your gun lays on the ground. Oh, yeah. Imagine if you could take the melee weapon and stab yourself. Wouldn't that be funny? Kind of like a finishing move, except they do a finishing move on themselves. Imagine? That'd be funny, right? You know, like a Call of Duty, you know how like a kill cam and such or whatever, and they could do like a melee or some kind of wild special move attack on somebody. Imagine if they went to go do that and then they end up just stabbing themselves and killing themselves, and then their team reses the guy. That'd be funny. I can't stand trolls and cheaters, I'm telling you. I drop the hard elbows on them. I'm not trying to be, you know, Mr. Tough Guy or anything, but man, it's like cheaters, brutal. Like, you that bad? Are you that bad? Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah. You know it, music. You know it. Yeah, that would be like, yeah. Imagine being the first guy to do something like that on a live stream. That would go fire, man. That would go fire. It would. I'm pretty sure it would. I gotta figure that stuff out. I don't know. I worked on Unity and such and done some 3D stuff. Doing some character controller stuff. I got a YouTube channel as well, which is, you know, YouTube I think is cancel culturing me. I don't know what's up with YouTube. It's slowly, you know, just like anything. I feel bad because, you know, I left. Like, I had, you know, there's some pretty cool type people here over in Twitchland. You guys are the OGs, man. The cool peoples. No offense, YouTube, but you're just not giving me the views. But I feel like I turned my back on the Twitch fam just to go over to YouTube and stream, and then it just never went anywhere. It was like being in first gear for years, you know. It was just brutal. And so I came back over. I'm like, but what I do now is my live streams, I transfer my videos to YouTube because, of course, you know, anything I stream here is only saved for 1 week. I don't want to lose my shit. You know what I mean? Don to the one, you're awesome, bro. Thanks for bringing your fam. If you guys don't mind, you can stick around. I gotta get into the theory. I have like 2 hours to kind of get things going. That's usually how long I stream for. Guys, gals, it's great to have you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a freaking awesome day. I'm telling you, I hope so. Happy Friday. Yeah, if it's Friday for you. Yeah, right on. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Again, you guys are welcome to stay. I got to get into kind of the teaching. I mean, you can lurk and twerk or whatever you want to do. Make coffee, go have a mocha loca, whatever, cafe, get yourself some liquids, or you could, you know, dip out, go watch other streams. It's up to you. I'm not your mom. Yeah, no, that's good. That's cool. You're welcome to check out my stuff and content whenever you want. I'm chill. I'm not begging for anything. You could show up, you could hang out, you could say hello, you could leave, you could do what you want. It's your life. You be you. You're an individual, a person. But yeah, by all means, drop by. Check it out, or you can check out the stuff that's not live if you want to learn coding. That's kind of what I'm doing, but I recommend you got to start from the beginning. I'm kind of going step by step here, you know what I mean? So you can't really just jump into it and expect to learn it, right? It's kind of a gradual thing. C++ is really not for everybody. That's why they code in Python. Yeah, I do that. I do that. I do that. Sometimes, I real talk. I real talk. I'm not as cool as Don, but, I try. Don's a pretty cool guy. I imagine he would have your back. He's that type of guy. And which he is. Obviously, he's been here. Like, he's been dropping by. He's been like, look what he's doing for me, man. I'm nobody. That's pretty cool AF as far as I'm concerned. You guys stick with him, man. Don't quit on him. He seems like a pretty cool, solid dude. I like that. And he's real. He's not afraid to talk. That's what I like. Okay, guys, I'm going to move on. Lurkers and twerkers and sandwich making workers, it's great to have you. Lurk and twerk if you want. I'm going to get to teaching. I must improve my feminine bust. Just kidding, guys. I am manly. To be honest, same. He supports me for a while, but today was my first time joining. Yeah. No, that's cool. Just be there, show up, hang out, say hello. Little things. It matters, right? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Followers, supporters, I appreciate you so much. Finally seeing a stream, but if I can watch, I always stay for a bit. Yeah, I try to drop in. I'm the same in music. Same. I don't want to make tons of excuses, but I'm trying to get this thing like rolling. So I'm talking about, just being like a mod and doing video edits and all those sort of things. Like, it's literally a full-time job. People don't understand. And then, edits and whatever else you got to do. All the details and the writing and, and also, researching and learning and, it all adds up. So I try to be there for them. I try to drop by, but I'm just so damn busy, I'm still growing. I'm not streaming. I'm still grinding code. I'm working on a program right now, which is almost done. I was thinking of streaming it tomorrow if I can get it done tonight. So it's so close. But yeah, good conversation. That's right. Keep it real, all right? Keep it real, okay? Don't be fake. That's my life tip. Be real. Keep it real. Even if it hurts somebody's feelings, just keep it real. If you love and care about somebody enough, you're going to tell them the truth. Right? Yeah, I'm under 20 people is my biggest growth, but for sure, then I was done. It was exhausting. Yeah, it does. It's, mentally draining. Maybe a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot. I respect physical workers, 100%. I do. That is physically draining on the body, guaranteed, 100%. Mental, like doing that kind of stuff could be mentally draining. It's kind of different, but it literally just drains your whole body. But yeah, I can see that. Totally can. I would do this. I would end up doing the same thing. Like, I could only do it for so long. I'm fine doing my own thing and my own things, but like doing that for somebody else, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it real. I can't see myself doing that for very long. Even though I try to help and support, but I got my own thing going on too. It's just my plate is full. Social battery, yeah. For sure. 100%. Okay, I'm going to skip forward. We're going to get to coding. It's great talking to you, _music. Yeah, man, it's awesome talking to you. Appreciate you. Finally, some chatters. Chatting. It's great. Thank you, Don, for your fam hanging out for the raid. Brother, appreciate you so much. Don, the man. Let's go. Okay, guys and gals, throw on your thinking cap. Much love to all you supporters, followers. You know I appreciate you. I always say it all the time. Maybe I say it too much, but I just want you to know. Music. I was going to ask you what kind of music you're into, but I want to get going. Maybe I'll just stop by your channel and see what you got going on over there. But yeah, I'm going to get started here. Appreciate A_music. A_music. Yeah. Let's go. I'll do this quickly. And then we're going to get to learning. Again, I got a couple hours here. It's kind of my schedule right now. So thank you for understanding. Right on. Let's go. Bling bling. Right on. A_music. Yeah, I got you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna make sure I follow you as well. Can I bring up your channel right now? I'll make sure I hit you up. I'll hit you up back, bro. Trust. Okay? Thank you. Yeah, I try to keep the energy up, you know. I try. I have my good days and bad days, just like anybody else. But I try my best to stay positive. You guys are awesome. Let's go. Thinking cap time, guys and gals. That was my crowd in the background showing the love to you. Thanking you for your support. You guys are great. I wish you all the best. I hope life is treating you well. And success. Success for you. I will pray for that. All right, we're going to get going. Time to learn, boys and girls. Time to learn. Get the old thinking cap on. It's coding time. Coding time. We're going to be doing theory here, guys and gals. So make sure you're all coffeeed up and you had enough sleep. You could actually maybe even look at this as an audiobook stream if you want. There might not be a lot of coding today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay? There may or may not be a lot of coding today. But, yeah, we're going to do a bunch of reading. There's a few pages here. Go over theory. We're getting into object-oriented programming now, guys. That's basically getting into classes, and objects are awesome. They really are. You can almost, I don't know, I don't want to call them variables. Just if you stick it in your mind, they're objects, but they make the magic happen. I call it, that's what the objects do. The objects make the magic happen. And you'll see that in the int main when we actually write code. Okay, I'm going to clean this up. We're done with that. I should update this. I want to also thank, I'm going to do some stuff here quickly. Some mod stuff. And I'm going to do this. And music. Let's go. It's your turn, brother. Let's go. I just got to do this kind of stuff, mod stuff, you know. I try to keep it simple. Here we go. Let's go. Boom. I haven't checked the stream. I should be good. Obviously, you can hear me, so... Yeah, what am I talking about, Bob? Bob, what are you talking about? Obviously, people can hear me. So this is good. Here's some popcorn for you guys and gals while you're hanging out. It's the best I could do. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Check it all. Run it up. Boom. Check it out. Boom. Let's go. I do that, yeah. That's how I roll. Let's go. Okay, what else was I gonna do? I was gonna do this, and not that I need to, but here we go. Bop, 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 and let's go vibes. And it's time to do some learning, okay? And here's a life tip for you, okay? Life tip. Let's go. All right. Okay, understanding. What's this here? Okay, I can get rid of this. I'm gonna just cut that out actually. X, do a little bit of cleaning up here. Whoops, don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. Just gonna clean up things here a little bit. Boom. What else? What else? What else do we need to do? And then we're going to get into reading. So, like this. Update that. And, whoops. And question. There we go. I'm a bit of a lazy typer. I can spell. I'm great at spelling. I'm pretty decent at writing grammatically correct sentences. My mathematics skills are strong. Calculus major. Pretty decent coding. I'm, not tooting my own horn here. I'm trying to be modest. But I can't type. I can't type worth AF. I can't. Must be that gamer typing skills. I don't know. Everything gets typed backwards. It's like my right hand is faster than my left hand. I don't know. All right, guys and gals. Let's get into this. Course outline time. Time to learn. I know I've been saying it for a few minutes and such now, but it is time. Understanding object-oriented programming. Okay, we're getting into classes. Classes are awesome. We're going to probably begin with classes, just building classes in the same translation unit, being our source.cpp, also known as main.cpp. It's still a translation unit. And yeah, we're going to do it all into one. And then eventually, as we progress, guys and gals, we'll start breaking our program into, 3 parts. The same 3 parts that I've been showing you. What I call the line coding essay. And then we'll create our own separate translation units. That's essentially what we're going to be doing. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Again, hopefully you had enough sleep. Make sure you have a coffee. You could turn this into an audio book today and listen and learn. Let's go. All right. Classes extend the built-in capabilities of C++ to assist you in representing and solving complex real-world problems. Classes are fun. Once you get into coding and such, guys, and you learn all the syntax and what to do and get all the basic theory in that down, it kind of is fun when you actually start making stuff happen. Like, really, it's pretty cool. It's a cool feeling when you can get something to run and work that you built and created. It's an amazing feeling. I support you, every single one of you, beautiful, intelligent people, in your C++ coding journey. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will do my best to help you. If I need to do another stream for you on a specific topic or question, I may do that as well. All right, today we're going to learn what classes and objects are, how to define a new class and create objects of that class, what member functions and member data are. Okay, now we're getting into it. So you can replace the term. Here we go. Let me just do this. I've talked about it in the past. Right? Methods. I've used the term methods. Well, it's the same thing as when you're going to hear me say member functions. So I believe that's kind of where it turned into. People were tired of saying member functions, so they just started calling them methods. I could be wrong, but, we're kind of lazy speakers, right? That's why we say, like, some words are kind of, a pain to say. So we like to say things we like to make our words easy. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. Hopefully it does. That's kind of what we do as humans. Always taking the easy way out. What constructors are and how to use them. Constructors, yes. Constructors are free. Is C++ object-oriented? At one point, C, the predecessor to C++, was the world's most popular programming language for commercial software development. It was used for creating operating systems, such as Unix operating system, for real-time programming, machine, device, and electronics control. More of the, boring kind of stuff. I don't want to call it boring, but, devices and electronic control systems and such, they need to be kind of programmed too, right? But that's all part of the learning and getting a paycheck, right? Sometimes you got to do the boring stuff. And only later began to be used as the language for programming conventional languages. Its intent was to provide an easier and safer way to program down close to the hardware. So what they mean is like having that direct communication with the processor. And that's what C++, we're getting into that, and I believe that's where we're leading into here. Right? I've said in the past, guys and gals, C++ is the language that directly communicates with the CPU. It's like boom. It's like in your face, boom. It's right there. Because everything gets converted to machine language, and that's what the CPU does. Zeros and ones. Okay? That's why it's faster. As a matter of fact, I don't know, maybe we'll get into all the theory today. This might end up being a two-part theory class. I don't know. But I do want to share like some other stuff here with you guys and gals. Okay, since we're kind of getting into it, I think this is the good part to do this. Okay? All right, so I've showed you up to this part already. probably already read this. Okay, you can pause and read or whatever if it's not live. Some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, I'm sharing with you guys my 153,000, almost 400 character notepad document. I know it's redonk, but it's all my time and knowledge, and I've been slowly putting together what I would call like a quick reference book, and that's what I'm working on here. Okay, if you know any editors, let me know. Okay, again, I can't write an essay to save my life, but I'm doing all the hard work, I think. I even have a table of contents all built up. Check it out. Like, who does that? Okay, this is what's in it. Okay, this is all time. Time takes time, and money is time, and time is the money, and money is all the time. And money is what I don't have. Okay, so it's pretty long. These are all the different topics I have. I haven't shared this yet, really. But yeah, 3,000 lines here of good information. That's the only way. Where am I going here? Yeah, here we go. Sorry for scrolling all the way there, but okay. So where were we? We were here. Okay, I'm sharing this much with you guys and gals, and you can pause and read a little bit of information for you. Again, if you're audio booking, you can come back to it later and read it. Right? So, which language has the fastest runtime? That's what I wanted to get into. Why is C++ the fastest language? One of the most important factors to consider when ranking programming languages is speed. C++ is the fastest language according to several measures, including compilation time and execution speed. All other languages are managed languages too, guys, right? A lot of people, maybe they're lazy with C++. They don't want to do all that housekeeping. It's not even that hard. It's not even hard to do the housekeeping. It really isn't. It's just a few characters you got to type. I don't know. Maybe it's difficult for them to remember these sort of things. I don't know. C++ for me, you learn the hardest thing first, and everything else is easy. Easy. It's like getting the best gravy ever made on your French fries. Okay? C++ is a language that uses a compiler. Not to mention, it is much lower level programming language than C#, Java, Python, etc. For example, Python takes 25 times more time to run the same algorithm compared to C++. Okay? Guys, I don't want to mock, okay? But there you have it. Okay? And let's be real. They're teaching Python because it's easy to learn. It's because those are the individuals that are looking for the easy way out. Okay? You'll be much better if you learn the hardest first. Trust me. Okay? Python will be a joke once you're done this. All right. Let's go. I'm going to continue. We're back to the course outline. Audiobook part again. Okay, so its intent was to provide an easier and safer way to program down close to the hardware. And that's what they mean. Direct communication with the CPU. That's hardware. C was developed as a middle ground between high-level business application languages such as COBOL, COBOL, and the pedal to the metal high performance, but difficult to use assembler language. I know some of this jargon and lingo, maybe, guys, just take it in. Just take it in. Information learned. Okay, knowledge in your mind. Again, you're not one of those guys when they're having a conversation with themselves, their brain is so empty. This is what it sounds like when they're thinking. Hello, 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 hello. How you doing? Why is it echo? Why is it echoing? That's all for jokes and laughs, guys. Why so serious, Bob? Okay. You don't have to learn this, but at least learn something. C was developed as a middle ground between high-level... Okay, that's reading stuff again. Okay. C was to enforce structured programming, right? A more structured program, and that's why we're getting into classes. That's what it is. It's more structure based, in which problems were decomposed into smaller units of repeatable activities called procedures, and data was assembled into packages called structures. Okay, so structures and classes really are the same. Okay. There are subtle differences. There are. We'll talk about that later. It's in regards to public and private access. That's really, in a nutshell, the difference. But research languages such as Smalltalk. This is a bit of an older course outline, guys and gals. For the most part, theory is all the same. There are going to be some things mentioned that probably don't even exist anymore in today's technology. But we're going to go through it anyways. Research languages such as Smalltalk and CLU had begun to pave a new direction. Object-oriented, right? This is kind of talking about the beginnings of it all, right? Which combine the data locked away in assemblies like structures with the capabilities of procedures into a single unit. The object. The object's awesome. The object makes the magic happen, you guys. It's amazing. It's a pretty cool feature. You're going to have to stay tuned to see it. The world is filled with objects, right? Here's an example, right? Cars, dogs, trees, clouds, flowers. You could think of them as objects, right? Objects. Each object has characteristics. Fast, friendly, brown, puffy, pretty, stanky. Most objects have behavior. Move, bark, growl, rain, wilt. If you notice, guys, most of you are probably really good at writing and such, which is great. Okay, and you understand adjectives and verbs and nouns and all that sort of stuff. A lot of times when you're creating your functions, they're more like action-based. So here's an example. Most objects have behavior. Move, bark, growl, rain, wilt, right? We can create, if you've been watching, I may have done it already, I don't know. I know I've done it at some point in my journey. But like a move function, right? For example, a lot of your functions is it adjectives? The ones that are create action. Okay? Now again, guys, right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Math is my thing. I kind of understand all that, but if you're awesome at English and writing and stuff, and you think you're awesome because you could do that, that's great. Okay? But let's be real, your mathematics skills probably lack. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean. That's called tough love. Okay? I love you. Right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses and differences in learning, right? Imagine if we're all the same. How boring would that be? You don't generally think about a car's specifications and how those specifications might be manipulated. Rather, a car is thought about as an object that looks and acts a certain way. And the same should be true with any real-world object that is brought into the domain of the computer, right? An object in a computer just makes the magic happen, right? It activates functions, if you want to have a kind of an idea, right? Okay. The programs being written early in the 21st century are much more complex than those written at the end of the 20th century. Programs created in procedural languages tend to be difficult to manage, hard to maintain, and expensive to extend. Graphical user interfaces, those are our GUIs, right? What you see on the screen, like our monitors, that's what they're referring to. Your monitors, your GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, the internet. We couldn't see the internet without a GUI. Digital and wireless telephony and a host of new technologies have dramatically increased the complexity of our projects at the same time that consumer expectations for the quality of the user interface are rising. Doing my best to read, guys and gals. Object-oriented software development offers a tool to help with the challenges of software development. Right? We kind of got to make it so that it's easy for a human to understand. Like, I understand, right, guys? I don't mean to mock Python too hard. But, it just lessens the difficulty. You want to create an environment where people want to continue learning, right? So I understand why. Python being taught in high schools, I get it. Sorry, Python people. Love you. It's called, like poking fun at each other, right? Just chuckle and laugh. Have a laugh at it. Why so serious, Bob? Okay. All right, cool. I hope you're good. It's great having you guys and gals. Truly mean that. Okay, though there are no silver bullets for complex software development, object-oriented programming languages build a strong link between the data structures and the methods that manipulate that data, right? And have a closer fit to the way humans, programmers, and clients think. Improving communication and improving the quality of delivered software. In object-oriented programming, you no longer think about data structures and manipulating functions. You think instead about objects as if they were their real-world counterparts, as things that look and act a certain way. OOP, man, guys, it really does make it simpler. It really does. And that's what we need as humans, right? That way we don't get frustrated and quit. you know, guys and gals, I want to keep you motivated and positive in your journey. There are going to be days where you trip and stumble, okay? It's going to happen to everybody, anybody. You're not the only one it happens to, okay? But the thing is, you fall on your face, you get that beep back up, and you go at it again, okay? If you need a day or two break from it, clear your mind, by all means, right? Always continue your journey, right? C++ created as a bridge between object-oriented programming and C. The goal was to provide object-oriented design to a fast commercial software development platform. With a special focus on high performance. Next, you'll see more about how C++ meets its objectives. Okay, where is that there? Do I still have that? Most important, C++ coding considerations, memory, performance, and optimization. Right? It's kind of like that in order. Memory, performance, optimization. Optimization is just all the little tweaks and stuff that you could do in your code to just kind of clean it up, finalize it, you know, take out any little, you know, bugginess, you know, just cleaning it up a little bit, refining in a sense. Okay, guys? All right, here we go. Creating new types. Programs are usually written to solve real-world problems, such as keeping track of employee records or simulating the workings of a heating system. Again, guys, C++ can be used for gaming. If gaming is something that you're interested in, right? It's not only just for real-world applications. If I run it, let me just run this. If you guys are interested in if you're into deck building games, if you like RPG type games, right? Maybe you're into Pokemon and stuff. If you like Pokemon and if you like RPG games, you probably will like this. I recommend. He doesn't know that I'm doing this for him, but I share this on all my streams because I'm that kind of guy, right? He's on YouTube, but he's building his own deck builder game, Rian Art. He's on Twitch as well, guys. You should be able to find him. And he's an indie dev, and man, you guys have no idea. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, right? Even I have no idea. Man, like he's doing everything from bottom up. Please, guys, support him. Check him out, okay? Rian Art. You'll be impressed. He does all the code he's doing is C++. He does all of his, if you ever done any digital art, the guy's amazing. He's an artist. He's talented. He's a pretty cool guy. He's chill. And he's like, it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work. It really is. To do it yourself, like, it's impressive. It truly is. Okay, anyway, just throwing it out there. Check him out. Just as a recommendation, he's on YouTube and Twitch. You'll find him. Okay, and usually he's streaming for like 8 hours. It's insane. While he's working, he's streaming. Okay, let's continue, guys. Just thought I would throw that in there. Make sure you let him know that I showed him the love, okay? And also he'll know me as WhiskeyTango Coding. He knows who I am. All right, let's continue. That's just as an aside. Thank you for your patience and understanding. You're awesome, by the way. Okay, although it is possible to solve complex problems by using programs written with only numbers and characters, it is far easier to grapple with large, complex problems if you can create representations of the objects that you are talking about. In other words, simulating the workings of a heating system is easier if you can create variables that represent rooms, heat sensors, thermostats, and boilers. Right, this is human readable words too, right? Or verbiage or wordage. Makes it easier for us to understand and read, and then we're not going to get frustrated because we understand it, right? The closer these variables correspond to reality, the easier it is to write the program. That's facts. You've already learned about a number of variable types. Again, like I said, guys and gals, you're the ones that create the names of the variables. You're the inventor. You can call it Bob's bag of cookies in the sandals, It's a pretty long variable name, but you could. Okay. You've already learned about a number of variable types, including unsigned integers and characters, right? So all the different data types, guys and gals, right? Int, float, double, bool. The chars, right? Char is a character. A lot of people say car. Char, car, potato, potato, tomato, tomatoes. It doesn't really matter, boys and girls. It all cooks the same. Okay? All right. We pronounce the ch, right? That's how we were taught in school, okay? The ch. It's pronounced ch. Okay? What can I use as an example? I don't know, I guess. Whatever. It's all good. Each to their own. However you say words, and that's just it. That's life, right? It is what it is. The type of variable tells you quite a bit about it. For example, if you declare height and width, I don't know why I can't say width, to be unsigned, short ints. You guys should have, I'll bring up a visual quickly. If you're audio booking right now, it's not really that critical. I'm just bringing up, you've seen it before if you've been watching the stream, all the different data types. Okay, you should know all these, or at least have an understanding. Be aware of them. Okay. I'm going to bring up the pile of books, because why not? Today's reading day. We're not really doing any coding right now. It's all theory, guys and gals. I brought up our stack of books. What a beautiful stack of books, I tell you. You'd be amazed if you guys find old books like that, keep them. If you have a first edition book that you find that looks like that, you better hold on to that donkey and not let it go. It could be worth millions for all you know. These books, man, you got to, I'm telling you. That's my life tip right there. Okay. For example, let's see. Okay. For example, if you declare height and width to be unsigned short ints, you know that each one can hold a number between 0 and 65,535, right? They're all positive integers. Assuming an unsigned short integer is 2 bytes, that's a 32-bit architecture system. 2 bytes, guys and gals. On a 64-bit architecture system, it's 4 bytes in memory. That is of saying they are unsigned integers. Trying to hold anything else in these variables causes an error. You can't store your name in an unsigned short integer, and you shouldn't try. Right? I mean, whoever's doing that, what are they thinking? Okay? Words are words. Numbers are numbers. You can't say 2 apples plus 2 apples. I guess you could turn it into a formula. 2a plus 2a equals 4a. That's like elementary algebra 101 stuff right there. Just by declaring these variables to be unsigned short integers, you know that it is possible to add height to width and to assign the result to another number. The type of these variables tell you their size in memory, right? The data types, right? You should kind of have an idea how much space is allocated in memory for them. It doesn't use all the space, but it allocates that much space. Okay, in our RAM library, they tell you what information they can hold, what actions can be performed on them. In traditional languages such as C, I respect the C language, guys. I do. That's kind of where it all began, in a sense. I mean, obviously there's languages before that, but just to let you know again, if you're just following along, I recommend you start from the beginning of the series and gradually, go through all of them. They're all up on YouTube. Okay. That's the way I have to save them. Okay. It is what it is, and I'm grateful that I can. Right. So, but you don't need to learn C to learn C++. Okay. The theory and everything's all the same, guys and gals, okay? Right? The data types and what else not. But C has its own unique syntax or statement writing. You would be learning a new style of writing statements. Okay? It's just a different style, right? C sharp would be the same thing. But you can easily learn C sharp after C++. I'm a prime example of that because I can do both those languages. Okay, in traditional languages such as C, types were built into the language. Okay, in C++, the programmer can extend the language by creating any type needed. And each of these new types can have all the functionality and power of the built-in types. Excuse me. Okay, they're talking about structs a little bit here, and the side on structs. We haven't written any structs, but you could think of a struct as a class. Okay? Classes are kind of an expansion on structs. Structs, they're public in nature, public access in nature, and classes, I hope I'm getting that right. I know I always type private and public, but yeah, you have to make classes public. That's right. Because classes are private in nature. So that means if you type any variables and such, they're going to be hidden. That's what it really means in a nutshell. It can't be seen. Okay? Downsides of creating types with structures. Some capabilities to extend the C language with new types were provided by the ability to combine related variables into structs, which could be made available as a new data type through the typedef statement. I've done typedefs. I don't understand the C language as much, guys, I won't lie, okay? Because I started with C++. That's the beginning of my journey. And I've seen some C scripts. I've seen some of it, but You don't need to learn C to learn C++. And I think, in all honesty, I don't know if it's phasing out. I could be wrong. You guys could let me know in comments if you think C language is eventually going to be phased out. I don't know that answer. These were things lacking in this capability, however. Structs and the functions that operate on them aren't cohesive wholes. Functions can only be found by reading the header files for the libraries available and looking for those with the new type as a parameter, right? That's the header, the intro of your line coding essay, right? We have to declare certain things like the includes and all those sort of things. They're important. The libraries, right? They include, I'll just, for include IO stream, right? We can't type code unless we include this library. Okay, input output stream it's called. Right? Okay, guys? Okay. Let's continue. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay. Okay. Thank you for listening along. Coordinating the activities of groups of related functions on the struct is harder because anything in the struct can be changed at any time by any piece of program logic. There is no way to protect struct data from interference. The built-in operators don't work on structs. We'll kind of get into this stuff a little bit more. You know, certain things that I'm reading maybe aren't fully understood yet, guys and gals. It'll come. It'll all come. We'll get there. Okay. It does not work to add two structs with a plus sign, even when that might be the most natural way to represent the solution to a problem. For instance, when each struct represents a complex piece of text to be joined together. I'm starting to follow along, right? I'm trying to understand because I haven't written C language, but I do understand, like, from C#, like you could concatenate strings. If you want to look up that word, that could be the word for the day. Maybe if you want to research it later, concatenation. You can concat. Hopefully I spelled that right. Concatenation. Okay. And you can do that with strings and such. It kind of blows your mind a little bit, but you can. It's basically just appending. That's all it is. You're really just appending things. Okay? Or joining together for a simplistic term. Okay, so apparently you could do that with structs. I did not know, but I do understand the concept of adding together like objects and that. I know because I do that myself. And I'll show you examples in the future when we get there. That's a little bit down the road. But you can do what's called member-wise assignment. It's pretty awesome, to be honest. All right, let's go. I don't want to get into that now, but once we advance in that, you guys and gals, right? We're taking it step by step here. No sense getting overwhelmed early. Plus, we don't want that. I want you to keep learning. Introducing classes and members. Okay, here we go. You make a new type in C++ by declaring a class. A class is just a collection of variables, often of different types, right? You can have different data types, combined with a set of related functions. Okay, the variables are kind of where all of it where it all starts, guys and gals. Okay, one way to think about a car is a collection of wheels, doors, seats, windows, and so forth. Okay? Right, action words. You can turn your functions into action words, like car, open car door, right? That's kind of an action word. That's what I was looking for, action words. And a lot of your functions that you create are action words. Okay, which we can understand, right? It's human understanding. Another way is to think about what a car can do. It can move, speed up, slow down, stop, park, right? You can create a function for every one of those right there I just said, guys and gals. This is what classes do. It's amazing. A class enables you to encapsulate or bundle these various parts and various functions into one collection, which is called an object, right? In a class, you'll create all the various functions, guys and gals, but the object makes the magic happen under the hood and into main, okay? Just as a heads up. Encapsulating everything you know about a car into one class is a number of advantages for a programmer. Everything is in one place, which makes it easier to refer to, copy, and call on functions that manipulate the data, right? So we're calling them functions from the class into main, guys and gals. You've been following along? You know what I mean. So we're calling our functions from the class into main. That's the job of the object. There's your hint. Okay, likewise, clients of your class, that is, the parts of the program that use your class, can use your object without worrying about what is in it or how it works. A class consists of any combination of the variable types and also other class types. The variables in the class are referred to as the member variables or data members. A car class, right, you can have a class called car, might have member variables. Those are variables that are contained within. They're called member variables because they belong to the class. Just like it's the same concept, guys and gals, when we call functions methods. It's the same thing, right? If you hear member variable, it just means it's a variable inside a class. That simple. Okay. Let's see. A car might have a member variable representing the seats, radio type, tires, and so forth. Right? All your variable names are going to be seats, radio type, and yes, they could be. Member variables, also known as data members, are the variables in your class. Member variables are part of your class. There we go. Right? Just reiterating what I just said. Just as the wheels in the engine are part of your car. A class can also contain functions called member functions or methods. Yeah! Ding, 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 ding. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Awesome sauceum. Okay. All right, continuing on. Where was I? Okay. Member functions are as much a part of your class as the member variables. They determine what your class can do. So essentially, when you're calling a function from a class, you're calling a method. It's all the same. It's all the same, boys and girls. It's all the same. The member functions in the class typically manipulate the member variables. For example, methods of the car class might include start and brake. Right? Those being functions, right? They're kind of like action words. A cat class might have data members that represent age and height and weight. Its methods might include sleep, meow, and chase mice. right? Those would be your methods, right? We're going to be using the word methods now because we're talking about classes. You hear the word methods, call your method, right? If you're working for a company in the future and someone you're working under says that, you know, that exact phrase, don't forget to call your method, you know what they're talking about. Declaring a class. Declaring a class tells the compiler about the class, right? It's kind of like, hey, compiler, I have a class I just made. Check it out. Aren't you excited? To declare a class, use the class keyword, followed by the class name. An opening brace, and then a list of the data members and methods of that class. End the declaration with a closing brace and a semicolon. You don't have to worry about that too much, guys and gals, when you type class. Hold up. All right, guys and gals, I'm back. I just had to take that call. I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. Where were we? Okay, I was thinking of typing up some stuff in Visual Studio. If you're audio booking right now, you could check it out later. Just kind of make a timestamp of we're at. I'll give you a timestamp, time frame here, just to be nice. 1 hour, 25 minutes. So somewhere around there. Okay, and then you can check it out later if you like. So, as I was saying, when you make your class, you type class, and then you give the class its name, right? You're the creator of the class name too. You're the creator of the variables names. You're the creator of the function names. You're also the creator of the class name. So I could have a class called donkey. I could have a class called elephant. I could have a class called, I don't know, tree. Okay? And then when you type class and then your class name and then you hit the curly brackets, boom, Visual Studio does it automatically. It puts that semicolon for you. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I'll type a class quickly. We'll do some code. All right. It's not very much. It's only like 3-4 lines of code. So, but when we type our class, when we declare our class, we're going to do everything in one translation unit. And then eventually we'll break out of that, okay? And then we'll create a class in its own source code or in its own translation unit. All right, stay tuned. For that. So where do you create your class? Well, you create it in the header portion. Okay. Up in the declaration area, because it has to be seen before the int main, right? It has to be above it, so that it's visible. Make sense? Let's see. This is kind of the global variables area. I thought I had. That's okay. Okay. I've had that even written here in the code for you guys, just as a heads up. Structs, classes, function prototypes, and any global variable names is where you do your like it's up in the header portion or the introduction of your line coding essay. Okay, I'm just gonna create it above global variables here. So I'm gonna type class. It's really this simple. Okay, we're creating a class. That's the type, guys. What's the type? It's a class. Give it a name, cat. Now, it's not a function, guys, okay? Separate it in your mind. We put functions and methods inside a class, okay? The syntax is not the same. Okay? So as soon as you type class, then cat, then you hit your curly brackets. Boom. Okay? And if you're watching, you can see, boom, the magic happened. Not the compiler, but the software put the semicolon there for me. I don't have to think about it. It's done. Okay? But you do have to make sure it has it. Okay? So then I'll just kind of open it up. I'll open up my curly brackets. Now, here's the thing. Okay? Here's a quick tip to be aware of. We're gonna be getting into what's called public and private access. Okay? Or public and private access modifiers. This is kind of a key understanding. The difference between structs and class. Structs, because we can create a struct, which is just another, like, structs came before classes. Okay, they're the OG. But structs have, well, it should be structs. I'm gonna put it plural. Okay, structs have, public access. Okay? Whereas classes I'll just go R private access. Okay? That's the difference. Just to give you a heads up. You can do a class and a struct in the same fashion. Classes you could do a little bit more, I believe. I work with classes a lot more, but it's recommended structs if you have just like some minimal variables, some X and Y coordinates or something to that effect. Struct is probably the best approach. But if you want to, like if you're talking about a cat and you want to give it more action words, then you would use a class, okay? Classes are more so object-oriented for utilizing functions more, okay? So that's another difference. Okay, so if we want public access, we have to type public. I didn't mean to get into that, but that's kind of the beginning. If I don't put public, then it's automatically all private. And then I will put my private stuff at the bottom of my class. A lot of people will have the private stuff at the top and the public stuff under. You don't really need to say private because it's already private above here. All of this is private between the curly brackets, okay? It's all private until I tell it that it's public. It's private, okay? Means the information is hidden. It can't be seen in the int main, in other words. Okay? But we'll get into that more. We'll just keep everything like this. There is a better way to write this code, but we're just gonna get into the basics here, okay? Unsigned int. And we're gonna create a variable. So we're declaring. And it's going to be called its age. Okay, now I'm going to create another one. Now, normally I would put it in line, but that's okay. I'll just go like this. Okay, we're just doing it a simple class here, guys and gals, creating simple variables. Its weight. That's it. There. And it's no different. We've done the same thing here locally, right? In the int main. Well, these variables are local to the class. Okay, be aware of that. Okay, right now they're also private, so they won't be seen in int main. This is where the object comes into play. Okay, you need the object to make the magic happen into main, okay? Just as a heads up. And then we'll create a method. I usually go like this, just to create separation. Currently, these are private member variables, okay? Currently, they are private, okay? Until you type the actual access modifier public, everything's private, okay? And let's create a void function called meow, okay? That's it. Now, they kind of do theirs. I do my methods different. I do mine camel case. They're doing theirs uppercase first, but it's only one word, so I'll just follow what they have, and there we go. Okay, we've created two variables and a singular function called meow. Okay, it needs the definition, right? This is kind of where you would create the definition, so there, see, right? Generally speaking, the way I typed it is more meant for a header. But we are in the header, yes. We are in the header. But we're inside a class, and the way I've typed it actually belongs in a header translation unit. That's why it's like not seeing it. Right? There's no way for me to, like, I can't just go, oh, I'm declaring up here and then put it down here. That's not how it works, okay? That method belongs to the class, to this class, okay? It's not going to be seen down here, right? Even if I try to create it, it's not going to be seen. It's kind of like its own blanket, right? Everything is private, so this is all covered and hidden right now. That makes sense? I hope so. Again, these functions that I'm creating here below the main, they can be seen by the int main. That's why I'm able to access them. And plus they're below the main. And I've also declared it above the main. Therefore equals the main can access it. It all belongs to the main. It's part of the main, right? In that sense. This stuff here is inside the class. It belongs to itself. Okay? We're going to continue reading, but I just wanted to show you that. Just a quick, simple, few lines of code creating a class. It's really that simple. Again, this part is where I would actually do the definition, right? And it gets rid of that error. Okay? Now you can see it. I don't need to, because I'm doing it this way, I don't need to declare it. You'll see, you'll understand when we start breaking things apart. You'll have a better understanding, okay? So trust me on that. Stay tuned. Keep following, keep watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and buy me a coffee. Because, you know, coffee makes the stream so much better. Alright, we're going to continue. We got like 45 minutes. Okay. Declaring this class doesn't allocate memory for a cat. Okay? Right? So declaring a class doesn't allocate memory. Okay? But there will be memory allocated for these variables. Right? There will be. It just tells the compiler what a cat is. Okay? So really, when we type class, we're just giving a heads up to the compiler saying, hey, compiler, we created a class. Okay? I'm just going to continue reading. So it just tells the compiler what a cat is, what data members it contains, such as its age and its weight, and what it can do, such as meow. That's the method. That's the action. The methods are the action. Okay? You guys understand. Although memory isn't allocated, it does let the compiler know how big a cat is. That is, how much room the compiler must set aside for each cat that you will create. In this example, if an integer is 4 bytes, a cat is 8 bytes big, its age is 4 bytes, and its weight is another 4 bytes, meow takes up only the room required for storing information on the location of meow. This is a pointer to a function that can take 4 bytes on a 32-bit platform. Okay, so you add all that up, right? That would be the size of the class. There's really, I've never done that before where, like, you can find the size of, it's a built-in function by the fine devs that, create the methods and the action that we can use, right? That's what the built-in, right? If you've been following along, you'll know what built-in functions are, guys, gals, right? Those are created for us so we could use, and that's awesome that they do that for us. Okay, so it's called size of, right? And I've done size of a variable, I've done size of an int, size of a bool, but I've never really actually said, what's the size of my class? Never done that yet. Can that be done? All right, a word on naming conventions. Okay, so their naming convention style, right? Here's a recommendation for you guys and gals, okay? Right? I've gone over naming conventions a little bit. I've showed you different styles, right? Pascal case, camel case, all those sort of things. You pick your style. Again, always stick. Once you decide on how you're going to write your variables, how you're going to type your classes, how are you going to type your methods, right? Stick to be consistent. Keep doing the same thing, okay? You make a decision on, right, the uppercase and lowercase and all that stuff. Whether you're going to use underscore and all those sort of things. In this case, they're using uppercase for their methods, okay? And you can have 2 words. You can have 3 words, right? For a method name, you can. For example, stop engine, right? Stop begins with uppercase and engine begins with uppercase. Now, if you like that style, go with it. I use camel case on mine. I don't know. It's the habit I've created. Okay? You do you. Right? And it's all good. Let's see. As a programmer, you must name all your member variables, right? Again, you're the creator. Your member functions and your classes. Okay. As you learn as you learned prior in the section of working with variables and constants, these should be easily understood and meaningful names. Okay, right? When you're creating your variables, your function names, right? The functions are the action. The variable names would be like, what is it? Is it a foot? Is it a tail? What are you talking about? Is it a tire? All those sort of things. Those are your variables. And then your class name would be like the generic overall name, right? Okay, we're going to create a program that does something with cats, okay? Maybe you want to make a cat program, for example. Okay, so they should be easily understood and meaningful names, right? Such as cat, if we're talking about classes. Rectangle, employee are good names, are good class names. Meow, chase mice, stop engine are good function names because they tell you what the functions do. Again, just think action words. Many programmers name the member variables with the prefix its. Again, that's all lowercase, as in its age, its weight, and its speed. This helps to distinguish member variables from non-member variables. Okay, there is that concept too, right? If you're creating members in or variables in the int main and you're creating variables in your class, depends on public and private access, but we're going to get into it with private variables. They're always written with an M underscore. M stands for member. Okay, so in the example that I've got here, these are actually private because they're at top. But I like to put public at the top of my class. This is the form. Again, I recommend this format, this form. Oh, those are methods, okay? Whoops. Okay, and then below your methods, these are actually for something else, okay? We'll talk about this area soon, okay? All right? And then in between, in the middle, if you're watching, and you know, when you come back from your to watch this video again after as an audiobook, John Wick, let's go, you're getting banned. Oh, God, these guys. Like, you know, I'm in the middle of a stream and I gotta spend time banning some cheap views guy. Hold up, guys. I don't tolerate stuff, so I don't really care. You disrespect. Okay, I'm gonna remain calm. Okay. Remaining calm. Don't disrespect. If you ask to put a link or something, I don't mind. Show some beep respect. Like, sorry guys. God, this is unbelievable. I thought it was a new chatter at first, but no. Yeah, I don't tolerate, so. Oh, where is that? Oh, God. I thought I had an example here. I love John Wick, but that guy doesn't deserve to use that name. Okay, there we go. I found it. Okay. What's the format here? Goodness gracious. Mod stuff. I gotta deal with mod stuff right now, guys. Middle of like, just go create your own Twitch channel, and then you can post all the links you want on your own channel. Otherwise, like, so cringe. I have to remember the format of doing this. I forget. I have to put in the reason. There. I think I got it. Boom. Get boot kicked. Never to be seen again. Insta ban. I don't care. Okay. Apologies, guys and gals. Apologies for that. What was I doing anyways? I'm not sure. See, and that's a distraction. Really bothersome. Okay, let's continue. Keeping up the positive vibes. All things considered. I gotta close this now. Yeah, save. Okay. Naming conventions. Right. I was doing the public and private stuff. Okay, so I'll put the private at the bottom. I'll try to give you the reasoning behind that again. It's kind of like an order of operations thing, if you will. Did I lose? Oh, I did too, because I was copying and pasting stuff. I lost my variables, unsigned, int, and because it's private, we go m underscore, and I guess I could say its age still. Okay, and I'm going to initialize them as well. All right, they get initialized right here, and wait. You might as well get used to this format of writing classes because this is the way I do my classes. Okay? All right, there we go. Let's throw up the big yays because, you know, let's get excited. All right, continuing on. Other programmers use different prefixes. Some prefer my age, my weight, and my speed, right? It could say my, right? It could. Again, you're the creator of your variables. Of course, we're talking about a cat, so it's not like we're talking about ourselves, right? So it'd make more sense we're talking about something else, a different object. This helps to distinguish member variables from non-member variables. So the way I've written this, public and private access, automatically the way this style is, informs, so if somebody's looking at your code, or maybe you're looking at your code a year later, or whatever the case is, they'll look at the variable and they'll go, oh, that's a member variable. And it'll also tell them, it does two things. It also tells them that it's a private variable just because of the underscore. Isn't that cool? Void unexpected. What is going on? Type void unexpected. What are you doing, Batman? Now you broke my brain. Let me just undo here. I want to see what's up. Why are you being like that? Oh, I know what it is. I see it. I see it. I know exactly what it is. I see it. Just seen it. It's a syntax, guys and gals. Syntax. Okay? You notice I have a... So be aware of these little subtleties. Okay? I'm looking at this. This isn't normal, right? This is something that's uncommon. This error. Everything is written. Void. The void is written. The method is written properly. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. I looked at it. I was actually observing it. And I'm going, I've written it properly. There's no issues. What's wrong with this? I know that this is normal. Okay? And then I looked up top and I'm like, I could see it. I see what's missing. So here's the syntax, okay? After your public and private access modifiers comes a colon. Not a semicolon, but a colon. And the compiler is kind of giving me a heads up. It doesn't really know this specific area, but if you get errors like this, just look above. Okay, so I'm going to build it. We should be good now. Be gone! Redefinition. Oh. There we go. Okay, that's all a redefinition is. It's saying that you've actually defined it. You've already, redefinition. That's what it means. Okay, I just forgot, because I did the undo, redo stuff. We kind of, got messed up. But you understand, right? You can't have two variables the same name. You've already declared it. You don't do it again. Okay, there we go. Fixed up. Okay, be aware. Syntax. It was just a little syntax oversight. Okay, continuing on. So, still others simply use the letter M for member, possibly with an underscore. I like to use the underscore. Such as MH, right? You can do it without it. But M stands for member variable. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's a member. That's great. But what the underscore signifies is that it's private. It's a private variable, right? It tells little things. People look at code and read code, and if you don't know the little details, you don't know, right? And that's what it does. Possibly with an underscore such as mage or m underscore age, m weight or m underscore weight, or m speed or m underscore speed. So they kind of write it different. I'll just show you some other examples here. I'm just gonna use the same thing, unsigned, blah 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 blah. So you pick the style, okay? M age, that's one way of writing it. M underscore age. I like to go, they have lowercase, and I'll just give you 3 versions. Whichever version you want to use is up to you. Again, be consistent. Okay, so this is 3 different ways to write a member variable. Okay, just so you can see some other examples. M weight, and then I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, and then I'll give you some one more set of examples here. Again, you decide what style you like, and you stick to that style. Okay, always be consistent, guys and gals. Always be consistent. Okay, there you go. 3 different ways, right? If I run it, it'll actually work because each variable name is written different, right? The uppercase and lowercase, right? C++, guys and gals, remember, it's case sensitive. C++ language is case sensitive. This will actually build. I'll have no issues. See, no issues. The only thing I haven't done is initialized, right? That's the only thing I haven't done. I typically initialize to 0 in my private. Okay, there you go. Okay, little, it's a lot, but again, pick your style. Now take note, these are private variables. Okay, you could write these ones, you could maybe do this. These ones will be public. You can actually have public member variables as well. So those ones could be public, right? There's the separation, right? Depends on the style and what's going on. I'm already giving you details ahead of time here, guys and gals. Okay? And there we go. So now you have 2 styles to write your private ones. Okay? That's tips from Johnny at Whiskey Tango Sharp Coding for you. All right? You pick your style. Let's continue on. Some programmers like to prefix every class name with a particular letter. For example, C cat or C person. I don't do that. Apparently they do the camel case with a class C cat. We already know it's a class. That's a prefix, right? I don't do that. I always uppercase with your classes. Always. Okay? Uppercase letter first. Always. Okay? Always. It has to be. Always. So get used to that. Always do that. Whereas others put the names in all uppercases or all lowercase. The convention in this course is to name all classes with initial capitalization, as in uppercase C, cat, C-A-T, and person, uppercase P, right? That's common, guys and gals, okay? It's common. With classes, always begin with capital letters. Similarly, many programmers begin all functions with capital letters and all variables with lowercase. Okay? Words are usually separated with an underscore, as in chase underscore mice, or by capitalizing each word. For example, chase is uppercase C, mice is uppercase M, or draw circle. Draw is uppercase D, circle is uppercase C. You'll see methods written like that, right? So I'll just do that. Okay, this course or this outline that I'm following here, course outline, they use uppercase with their methods. Okay, I'll use lowercase and then uppercase. In the main, usually you'll see like the style that I've been writing the variables in int main have been pretty much the same. Okay, so they could be all lowercase. I guess I kind of been doing the camel case, I guess. For the most part, right, you can just have it lowercase, right? I recommend that, just all lowercase. It's a public variable in the int main. Okay? Just as a tip. I'm going to remove these. So if you want to take notes of that, write it down. Just want to shorten this up so you guys can see it all on one screen here. Okay? I want you to see the whole thing. All right? There we go. Let's continue. The important idea is that you should pick one style and stay with it through each program. Over time, your style will evolve to include not only naming conventions, right? You can search up Google search or Bing or whatever your browser is, your search browser. Search naming conventions C++. You might find something on there that will give you more information. I've shared with you guys and gals some stuff, right? If you don't want to search, you don't have to. But also indentation, alignment of braces, and commenting style, right? There are different styles for writing your code. There is. It's common for development companies to have house standards for many style issues, right? That's what I'm talking about. They have their own house standards. This ensures that all developers can easily read one another's code. Unfortunately, this extends to the companies that develop operating systems and libraries of reusable classes, which usually means that C++ programmers must work with several different naming conventions at once. Yeah, that's all the built-in, the background stuff, the code behind it. You can look at, you can actually peek definitions. You can. And you can see the style that they use when they're writing their code. As stated before, C++ is case sensitive, so all class, function, and variable names should follow the same pattern so that you never have to check how to spell them. Was it rectangle, uppercase R, or all lowercase rectangle, or was it all uppercase rectangle? All uppercase I'll use for my constants. I'll just share that with you as my tip, right? Const means, right, you guys know from math class what a constant is. So let's say I had, I don't know, let's say, for example, months were always 30 days. It's not true, I know this, but I'll go months equals 30, okay? Of course, I can't type. And again, oh man, I really can't type. Okay, so notice I'm in the int main, okay? And I believe I'm consistent like that even in my classes, I believe. But in the int main, definitely all uppercase. That's what I do. That's my style. I try to follow industry standards as well. I'm an indie dev per se, so I have to create my own standards, but I also like to follow industry standards as well, to the best of my ability. As stated before, okay? All right, let's continue. Defining an object. After you declare a class, you can then use it as a new type to declare variables of that type. You declare an object of your new type the same as you declare an integer variable. Okay. We've already defined an unsigned integer, right? Going up here, let's say, I don't know, just as a hypothetical, right? Tab int, and actually this one's going to be public. So again, it depends on the style you want to go with. Let's say I wanted a public variable. It's not common to have, it's not really a good idea to have public variables. We'll get into that in the future. It's recommended to have them as private, but we'll get into that in the future. Okay, when you're beginning learning classes and you're learning code, you're learning how to create classes, public is fine, guys. Okay, I recommend you start with public anyways before you even learn about private, because there's certain ways to access that information. Okay, public, you can see it, and I'll show you as an example. Gross weight. Okay, let's say let's say a cat had a gross weight like Garfield. I gotta do it. I just gotta do it. That was kind of funny. All right. Okay. So there we go. This one has uppercase. So again, it's just another style, right? There's a lot, and it's like, you know what? Pick the one that you like. Okay, you might change it in the future. Over time, the more code you write, it might eventually change. Okay. All right. This code defines a variable called gross weight, whose type is an unsigned integer. And then we can also define, we're actually getting into where we're creating objects. It also defines frisky, so cat frisky, which is an object whose class or type is cat. And I'll write that soon. We're going to write objects, and when you start creating objects, objects are written in the int main, okay? Where do you write your objects? You create them in the int main, okay? Objects make the magic happen. They're what is used to access the information from your class. Make sense? Classes versus objects. You never pet the definition of a cat. You pet individual cats. You draw a distinction between the idea of a cat and the particular cat that right now is shedding all over your living room. Yes, we just got a new kitten. I got a new kitten because my 8-year-old adult cat was getting a little bit too whiny. I'm always working. My son's always hanging out with his awesome American friend. They've been tight for a long time. That's really awesome. I love it. So we got a kitten. Well, I came up with the idea. My kid is still shaking his head in wonder, going, why? But we got a kitten just to, give her a companion, friendship. And plus, she was I didn't want to get into details, but she was in heat, and I thought maybe a kitten might get her to, I don't know what I was thinking, guys, but now we got a kitten. And they're slowly getting closer to each other, but yeah. Anyways, that's our story. The kitten isn't really shedding. Do kittens shed, guys? Drop it in comments. I know my adult cat does. In the same way, C++ differentiates between the class cat, I love tigers by the way, which is the idea of a cat, and each individual cat object. If I could own a tiger, I would own a tiger, but I don't want to get eaten by the tiger. Thus, frisky is an object of type cat, in the same way that gross weight is a variable of type unsigned int. An object is an individual instance of a class. That's the new word for the day. Instance. Okay? Instance or instantiation. Okay? There you go. There's your words of the day. Those are coding lingo words. Get used to them. You'll hear them a lot. Somebody might say to you, don't forget to instantiate. Right? Okay, we're going to talk about instantiation so that you know what it means. That way you're not looking at your fellow colleague with a blank, dumb-looking staring at them, trying to figure out what they're talking about, right? That's why you're here, right? Because now you're going to know, and I'm going to make sure you never have that blank stare. Let's go. Let's go. That's the goal. I must finish up here, though, and then we're going to get into more. There's going to be more theory a little bit, guys, gals. I tried to make it interesting. I must finish up. I think we're getting there up in time. What are we at here? Yeah, we're kind of over the time. I try to keep things around 2 hours. I did have an awesome chat from Don to the Juan, guys and gals. I forgot to say hello to Don. My bad, Don. He knows I do. I usually have that up top here. What was I doing? Check out Don to the One. Okay. He doesn't have this in front of his name, but TTV. Okay. I mean, technically speaking, he is TTV. All right. Man, that was awesome of him. Pretty solid dude. Pretty solid dude. Don to the One. Fortnite grinder, guys and gals. If you like Fortnite and you want to see somebody slap, check out Don to the One. It's great to have. It was great to have his fam drop by the stream, hang out and chill and lurk and twerk. I appreciate that. But that's it. That's it, guys and gals. That is it for today. We are going to continue on. We'll do a little bit more theory. Are we done with naming conventions? Am I done with naming conventions? Yeah. Okay, we're kind of getting into talking about... Next, we're going to be talking about classes versus objects. Actually, that's what I just read. My bad. Next thing, accessing class members. Okay, I'm going to show you how to access class members. Okay, remember, guys and gals, a class member is that which I just highlighted. You have to be watching to see it. Those are members. Check it out. Stay tuned. Appreciate you, every single one of you beautiful, intelligent people. Thank you for the support and watching. You guys are all great. So glad that we are on the same ship on this C++ coding journey. I'm doing my best to teach you guys, right? And let's all play golf together someday. Wouldn't that be fun? I would love to. All right, guys and gals, whoever you are, wherever you are, have an awesome rest of your day, evening, night. I may share my project I've been working on tomorrow, if you want to check it out. I'll make sure you guys see it on Twitch and YouTube. I appreciate all the support, whether you're on Twitch or whether you're on YouTube. Truly do. Thank you. That is it. Johnny Whiskey Tango Coding saying peace out now. Peace out for now, guys and gals. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. And peace.